Hello, hello. It is the Beltway Book Club on Living Local After Dark. I am your host, Ellen Menny, and I am so excited to welcome my guest today. She is an actress, she's an activist, and she is an author now, Monroe Alise, friend of the show. Monroe, welcome to After Dark Beltway Book Club edition.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here.
Yes, I was so excited when I was making your little name lower third to add another A to your list, actress, activist, author. And of course, we're talking about your book, I'm Clockable, Becoming Who the World Could Never Define. So let's talk about what this book is all about, first of all.
Well, one, thank you so much for having me. Two, I'm Clockable, Becoming Who the World Could Never Define. It is narrative justice work. It is me introducing myself to the world on a grander scale, but just with many, many, many glimpses of these experiences. And so it's a human experience, right? There are three intersections that I sit in. I'm a Black woman of trans experience, but this book specifically is just solely focusing on the human experience. There's multiple stories in here about things that I'm sure everyone can relate to, in reference to feelings of inadequacy or vulnerability or the need for community and siblingship and sisterhood and just family. And this book just focuses on the things that make us relatable to each other versus the things that set us apart.
And this book is, what you just said is beautiful. This book is vulnerable. It talks about your life, talks about your experiences. What was it like writing it in terms of the emotional element? Because you're getting into the nitty gritty of your life.
Yeah, it's been a long time in the making. It was so emotionally raw for me because I didn't know how vulnerable I really wanted to be, right? I can meet a stranger and tell them my whole story, but to memorialize it in a book where they can pick it back up and read parts again and then in my mind, talk about me or, judge me. And it was like, no, this is not for those people. This is for the people who need to know that their story matters too.
That is beautiful. So take me back to when you first had this idea for the book. Was there a moment where you said, you know what, I'm going to do this?
So it was about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
I had decided that I wanted to help other people not have to go through what I went through. And I couldn't really figure out how I was going to do that, but I needed a space to do that. And then someone told me that once you've survived your experiences, they no longer belong to you. So you have to share them. You have to share them so that it can help maybe prevent someone from going through what you went through.
And that's such a powerful quote, and it's so true, and I commend you for doing that because I know your book is going to help people. As you were writing it, do you have a favorite chapter, or maybe that's the wrong word, a chapter that particularly was powerful or evocative for you?
Yeah. So, the first chapter is one that really explains the question that people often ask me all the time, how did you know? How did you know? And so the first chapter for me is one of my favorites because it really details the moment when I finally realized, oh, there's this difference. There's this something in me that is different than what's on the outside and people are seeing and experiencing. And at a very early age when I didn't have the language to, really say that, I just had to immediately jump into survival mode. And so the first chapter really just hits the ground running with my first experience with gender identity.
Well, and I think, I appreciate how you really go into detail about your life and your experiences because I feel like, as you said before, somebody will read this and it'll help them. It'll demystify the process.
Yeah.
In chapter 6, you talk about going to rehab.
I did.
Which I know we talked earlier on Living Local.
Yeah.
That's something you haven't shared publicly before.
Yeah.
What was that? What was it like to kind of put that out into the world?
It was such a very, very scary thing, right?
Yeah.
Because people judge what they don't understand or, your story. And I knew that this was one of the most important pieces that needed to go in here because I needed people to see that there is safety, there is survival in going to rehab and starting new and having a rebirth of sorts, right? It was uncomfortable, but my life had gotten reduced down to the bare minimums, almost very animalistic. And so I needed to talk about those things. One, to free myself, right, from that self-bondage. But two, there is somebody going through those experiences right now who maybe don't even realize that there's an issue or that they may be, overdoing these things. And if this makes someone kind of second guess how much or if at all, then I feel that the work is done.
Powerful. Again, I keep on saying that, but it's true. What have you heard from people so far since the book's now out in the world?
Yeah. I think the first time someone commented, like, I've read the book, and I was just like, oh my,
You're like,
right. And they were just like, wow, thank you. Thank you so much. I've related to so many different things, right? And I think that the more comments that I get from people who don't identify in the LGBTQ community or even being trans, those comments mean the more to me, the most to me, because they really see the human experience. To have someone, a cisgendered, heterosexual man, let me know that him reading my book helped him see himself in a way that he never saw himself before. Powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Charisse, when we interviewed you on Living Local DMV, Charisse always says, you can't hate someone when you know their story.
Absolutely.
And so I think, as you said, like, speaking from the heart and writing from the heart is a powerful way to bring people in and to share your story. We have to go to break, but when we come back, I want to talk obviously way more about your book, the writing process, all that good stuff. So everybody stay tuned for more Beltway Book Club. We will see you soon. Welcome back to the Beltway Book Club, everyone. I'm your host, Ellen Meny, and I've been chatting with friend of the show, actress, activist, and author Monroe Alise. Monroe, always love having you on. And of course, we are talking about your book, I'm Clockable, Becoming Who the World Could Never Define. And before we get into talking about the writing of the book, I actually wanted to ask about the title.
Okay.
I realized I hadn't done it yet. So can you talk about, I want to know about the full title. So there's I'm Clockable and then Becoming Who the World Could Never Define.
Sure. So as a Black woman of trans experience, being trans, some people believe that being passable is the mission, right? Being acceptable to society's standards of womanhood or having people believe that I am a cisgender woman. And that is not the case, right? And so some people believe, well, the term clockable came from community in reference to being clocked or being able to tell that that was a woman of trans experience. It was very negative. It had a very negative meaning behind it. And so I wanted to take the power away from it, right? I wanted to own that and make it very clear that I am okay with being clocked. Being clockable does not make me less of a woman. It just makes me more of myself. And so that is completely fine with me. And so I own I'm Clockable. Becoming who the world could never define is because I don't want to fit into what your definition of me was supposed to be or who you think I am or any of those standards or societal norms. I am exactly who I am. I am exactly what I say I am, and I know who I belong to.
Absolutely. And you have taken back that phrase for a long time because you use it on your social media, and so it's beautiful to see you take that, and it's the title of your first book.
Thank you.
And so I wanted to talk about the writing of the book. I mean, this is your first book. What was that process like for you?
So I'm a creature of habit, right? I think we talked about this the last time. I'm a creature of habit, and so anywhere that made me feel safe and vulnerable enough to tell the truth about myself, that's where I had to keep going back. And so I kept going back to the same coffee shop in Atlanta. That's where I live now. And I kept going back to that same coffee shop because I knew that I could write there authentically and genuinely, no matter how ugly or uncomfortable it made me. And so I just kept going back to the same coffee shop. It took months, but yeah.
I think there's something to be said about, like, I relate to that because I love writing at coffee shops. There's something to be said about, not being in your home.
Yeah,
and
I could not do it.
Right.
I couldn't do it. I tried so many times. I could not do it. Yeah.
I feel like that is it's like such a writer thing to do. And so would you say like the actual process of writing, like did you plan it out or did like the inspiration just come and you just put pen to page?
So it was many times I put pen to page and was actually able to get things out. Or there were other times I was just at the coffee shop and I was just in there working on something else and it was like, oh, let me start writing. And then it would just happen just like that. I would be thinking of something else and then I was like, oh, I want to add this piece or, oh, I have to add this piece or let me put this, put this down on paper. I tried doing an outline of like what I wanted to tell and how I wanted to tell it. And I completely did the opposite of what that was. So.
I mean, I relate. And it definitely happens.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about books because, writers read.
Yeah.
And are there any books out there that have particularly inspired you or are like impactful to you?
My favorite author of all time is Elin Harris. May he rest in peace. His literature, his work inspired me and shaped me. And so I'm a creature of habit. I read the same books. I read Invisible Life at least like 3 times a year. There are multiple books, like there's so many memoirs now.
Yes.
Right? Thicker Than Water by Kerry Washington was phenomenal. Viola Davis,
Yes.
Keke Palmer, Eve, all of those were amazing memoirs. Those women showed me that my story matters too. And that is what I want to do with my book, show people that their story matters too.
Do you think, is your book a memoir?
So I've shied away from calling it a memoir or a biography, and I am allowing people to make that assumption or make that definition themselves. I'm calling it the Monroe Manifesto, if you will.
Yes, love it.
This is my introduction to the world. Yeah.
That makes total sense, and I love that you have quotes in it. The quotes are fantastic.
Monroe's moments.
Yes, Monroe's moment. Like, what I do is not who I am. Who I am is what I've done.
Yeah.
How did you pick those?
I am a girl who lives by like mottos, right? And affirmations. And so when I write something and it makes me feel something, I have a whole list of them in my phone, in my notes. And so I knew that writing these things, I wanted to put a quote, give the people something to have them live by, what has helped me through each of these chapters in a sense.
Yes, the note, like the iPhone note section,
saves my
classic.
life.
And then what advice would you give to writers who want to be like you, who want to take the first step and write their first book?
Write the story. Don't worry about trying to change the detail. If you're writing a fiction or if you're writing a nonfiction, just write the story. Just get it out. Don't worry about who's going to read it and how it's going to read or any other process. Just put it on the page. Start step 1.
Absolutely. I mean,
start from,
No, it makes sense. I think a lot of people get in their heads about, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. But sometimes you just got to just do it, as Nike says.
Yeah, I'm people. I'm people. I did that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of I'm people too. Like a lot of people do. But that is great advice. Well, we got to go to break. Time has flown. But
wow.
I know, right? But when we come back, we'll chat more. I want to ask what's new for you, what's new in your life. So everybody stay tuned for more Beltway Book Club after this quick break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Beltway Book Club, everyone. I'm your host, Ellen Meny, and I've been talking with friend of the show, Monroe Alise, who just came out with her first book, I'm Clockable, Becoming Who the World Could Never Define. Monroe, it's been so great talking with you.
Likewise.
And I would love it if you would be able to read like a quick passage from the book.
Sure, I'd be honored. So this is the how to read this book. As you read this book, I want you to take your time. You don't have to rush through it. Each chapter offers a piece of my story, but I also want you to reflect on your own. When you notice me talking about survivor mode, trauma, or the moment when something happens, pause and ask what it means in your life. This isn't just my journey. It's an invitation to reflect on your own becoming. If a chapter speaks to you, sit with it. If something feels tender, allow it. I wrote this not only to tell my truth, but also to help you reflect on yours. You can read it from beginning to end or pick a chapter that calls to you. Just remember, every page is here to remind you your story matters too.
Incredible, and thank you. And I wanted to ask, I love when we have like a Dear Reader moment. What made you want to add that?
I wanted people to know that even though there's not a lot of pages, it is still impactful. And so I don't want you to feel like you can, and I'm just going to breeze through it because it's not that many pages.
Speed read.
Yeah, no, I want you to really sit with it and really take your time with it. And if you feel something, allow it to happen. Allow that moment to happen and then reflect on what you're feeling, why that feeling came, and follow that feeling. That's where your growth is.
It's very intentional,
yeah,
and very mindful. Well, Monroe, we've been talking about your book. I want to know a little bit about your life.
Yeah.
So you recently welcomed a new family member into your life.
Did.
A puppy.
Yay.
Can you please talk about him?
Oh, his name is Chiago. Oh. He's a mini Yorkie, brown and white, and just the joy of my life in this moment.
And
so sweet.
I had the privilege to meet him today, and he's so cute. So what else is going on? I mean, is anything on the horizon for you?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely interested in writing more books.
Yes, I was gonna ask, not to get ahead of ourselves. You literally just came out with this one, but
no, definitely there are more installments and more things that I want to share with the world, right? More experiences, really leaning into the narrative justice work of it all. More acting. Definitely more acting, and I think if I say it here, I have to do it.
Let's manifest.
More music. I definitely want to do more music. Music was my first love, and so I want to just put something on record just for me, just something that I can say that I've done it. Yeah.
I love that. We're manifesting it.
Yeah,
I'm glad we have proof. So when you win a Grammy, it's like we can go back. We can say, remember when Monroe was on this show?
Yeah.
Do you think writing this book has kind of like unlocked other things creatively for you?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. I think when fear paralyzes you from doing things and you do it anyway, it frees you up enough to know that anything is possible. Because I never imagined being an author.
Right.
Like being an author. Yeah.
You made it happen.
I'm so grateful.
Oh, I was going to say, as we said before, actress, activist, author. And I know you have other titles, but it's the alliteration for me.
Wow.
Kind of one of my last questions, and we talked about this before, but if there's one thing somebody gets from your book, what do you hope it is?
Yeah, I want them to know that this is a human experience. I want them to know that this shows how we are more alike than different. This doesn't highlight the things that make us different. This showcases the similarities, the feelings that resonate in each and every one of us. The experiences may be completely different, but the feelings are the same. The feelings of inadequacy or not enough or loneliness and isolation or a need for community and validation and love. Yeah, those are the takeaways from this.
Absolutely. Well, where can people get this book?
Yeah,
because they need to.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited. So it's definitely available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, coming soon. Yeah.
Love that. Fantastic. And where can people follow you if they want to keep up with you?
Yeah, definitely MonroeAlise.com, Instagram, Monroe Alise P, TikTok the same. Yeah.
And you've been doing readings of this book on TikTok, is that right?
Yeah, every morning we do motivation and coffee, and I do the reading of the first chapter, the how to read the Monroe Manifesto, and my letter to the reader. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Monroe, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Always love having you on the show. And anytime you want to bring your puppy to like hang out with me, I'll babysit him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to hold you to that.
I know. I just said that on television, so that has to happen. One more time, can you let the people know where to find you online?
Sure. You can go to MonroeAlise.com. You can go to Instagram, Monroe Alise P, TikTok, Monroe Alise.
Awesome. Well, Monroe, we always love having you on the show, so thank you for joining me for the Beltway Book Club.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And one more time, we will say, everybody buy the book, I'm Clockable, Becoming Who the World Could Never Define. It's available. It's available everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes. And everybody, thank you so much for watching the Beltway Book Club. Have a great day. Keep reading, keep writing, and we will see you next time. Have a great one. Bye.